Village of Grenfell was a quiet place, surrounded by deep forests. At night, thick fog would cover the streets, making it hard to see or hear anything clearly. But this night, something felt wrong. The fog seemed thicker, colder, and the silence was strange, almost unnatural. Margaret, the village herbalist, had stayed late in her small shop. As she left and locked the door, she felt uneasy. The path to her house wasn't far, but tonight it felt much longer. Her heart pounded as her footsteps echoed in the quiet. Suddenly, she heard a distant howl. It was long and low, like a cry from the forest. Margaret froze. There hadn't been wolves near the village in years. People said they were gone, but the sound was too real, too close. She quickened her pace, trying to shake off the fear. But the howls came again, louder this time. And worse, she heard something moving in the fog, soft footsteps following her. Her breath quickened, and her hands trembled as she gripped her cloak tighter. The village streets were empty. No one was around to help. Margaret could only see a few feet ahead, but she knew she had to keep moving. The sound of the footsteps grew closer, and now she could hear heavy breathing behind her. She broke into a run, her boots slapping against the cobblestone. But the thing chasing her was faster. It was gaining on her. Just as she reached the gate of her cottage, something massive leapt from the fog, knocking her to the ground. Margaret screamed, but it was drowned out by the growl of the beast. She looked up and saw glowing eyes staring down at her. A wolf larger than any she had ever imagined. Its fur was matted, its teeth gleaming in the dim light. The wolf's snarl filled the air as it inched closer, ready to strike. Suddenly, a loud shout came from behind, and a group of villagers, armed with torches and pitchforks, rushed toward them. The wolf hesitated, then let out a final, haunting howl before disappearing back into the fog. Shaken, Margaret got to her feet, thanking the villagers for saving her. But as the fog began to lift, she noticed something strange. On the ground where the wolf had stood were footprints, large but human. The villagers looked at each other in confusion. Margaret's heart sank as she realized the terrifying truth. The wolf wasn't just an animal.